Roles in modern football and their explanation. Firstly, we're going to talk about the keeper. We have two types of keepers, like the goalkeepers. We have the sweeper keepers and we have the modern keepers. Now, we're going to be talking about the sweeper keepers first. Those are the type of keepers that like to be engaged in the play and likes to the more confident keepers, the keepers who tend to rush out, join with the midfield, spray passes into the midfield so they can advance to the front, or lob the ball over for a winger that is running on the wing. So these keepers tend to rush out, like for corner kicks, they tend to rush out from their goal line into the box and try to punch the ball away. And they tend to move up with the back four upwards into the midfield. And then there's the modern keeper who tends to just defend the goal line, who tends to just stay in the box. And then we also have the different positions on the field, like the left and right backs. Those are what we call the wing backs, but there are different types of wing backs you could have. You could have the wing backs, which is just they tend to stay in their touch line and play the ball towards the midfielder, the wide midfielders. They tend to link with the midfielders and stay back. And then we have the full backs who tends to run into the box and make crosses for someone to either head or just hit into the net. They tend to be like wingers, and they tend to go up front and back a lot. And then you have the centre backs. Now, the centre backs mostly are there to stop opposition strikers. So they tend to be able to block shots, prevent them from taking shots, and prevent them from getting the chance to either head or shoot. So the centre backs are just there to prevent the goal from going towards the keeper. But if that happens, we also have another position. If you're playing a back five, that position is called a sweeper centre back, which is basically the last line, the last player in defense in case of a counter attack or anything like that. The sweeper, the centre back, tends to link up with the midfielders, link play with the midfielders, and push up front when they're attacking, and like into the midfield when they're attacking, and push back and stay back when defending. They tend to not do man marking like the rest of the defenders. They tend to just be on their own and just anticipate attackers and stop them from scoring. Then we have the midfielders. Now, in the midfield, you could have the center midfielders, right midfielder, left midfielder, or you could have a defensive midfielder. A defensive midfielder is also like a center back or like a sweeper center back. They tend to link play with the midfielders or the attackers. They tend to defend too. So they like to drop back more and defend the box, and sometimes they could also make long passes for attackers. And we also have the center midfielders who literally just dictate the game. They set the tempo of the game. They tend to control the game. So like the brains of the game, and they work with everybody, the attackers, the defenders, even the keepers. So they tend to be the ones who control the pitch. And then you have midfielders who are deep line playmakers. They are the ones that tend to just sit in front of the goal line. I mean the defenders, and try to link up play within the midfield. Players like that are called the deep line playmakers. And then there's also the right midfielder and the left midfielder, who generally are just wide midfielders. They're probably wingers who are fast, who can like get passes, who can play passes. They tend to run along the line and cross into the box for the attackers to like hit into the goal. And then there's the center attacking midfielder, or like most people call them, attacking midfielders. Those attacking midfielders tend to play in an attacking style, like a support striker. They tend to create chances and take shots once in a while. The distinct characteristics of a center attacking midfielder is their ability to take shots from long distance. People like Jude Bellingham, like Bruno Fernandes, those are good center attacking midfielders. They tend to have a good long shot power and accuracy. And then there's the false nine. Now, the false nine is kind of like a midfielder, like it's kind of like a center attacking midfielder. It's just when you have a false nine, they tend to replace the strikers, meaning they're not actually strikers, but they play as strikers. They're actually midfielders who play up front. So they tend to get more scoring chances, but they also tend to play in the middle and run in from the middle to the opposition box. Then we also have the wingers. Now, the wingers can just be normal wingers or inverted wingers. When you have normal wingers, you just tend to have wingers who run down the line with the ball, crosses it into the box for the striker to take a shot or head it into the goal. And then same with the left wing or the right wing if it's just a normal winger. But if you have an inverted winger, that means a winger who uses his right leg but plays on the left side, or a winger who uses his left leg and plays on the right side. So the left wing for an inverted winger means the right foot is the strong foot, and the left foot would be the weak foot for the left winger. And for the right winger, the right foot is the weak foot, the left foot is the right foot. And then you have the supporting striker. When you have the supporting striker, you also have a striker. So they tend to have a more like a distinctive passing. They tend to link with each other the most when you have a supporting striker and the striker. And then you have the striker whose main job is to score, just to score goals, take shots, make chances, and just win the game. So, yeah, that's it.